a belly of tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below, my billy boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Bancroft, what's going on?
Feels like I haven't seen you in ages, Rob.
It's been a minute. What's the news, man?
Bold. That was bold of you, the Weller man, with Mo there right in the chat. It's like thumbing your nose.
Someone needs to make me an intro if they want something better. It's just how
I
it is.
did promise you one, and I failed.
Yeah. Why do that to me, mate? All right, let's see who we got in chat. Norton Rad's here. He's doing all the emojis. Jasper, yes, the format has returned, Jasper. You better be here. Micra says, Rob's intro is maybe a work in progress, but the thumbnail game is on point. I just threw that together. I just kind of like made it up. Voyage is here. Huey Long. I don't know if I've seen Huey before. You probably haven't, just forgotten. Welcome. That's me.
Yeah,
Aardvark. Very good. Mo. I was worried Mo wasn't going to be here. It's not the same without Mo Bancroft.
That's true. No, but why were you worried he wasn't going to be here?
Well, he's normally in the chat. He's normally saying something. Job Rose here. Camel Moon's here. What's up, Camel? He's doing really well, Mike. Camel Moon's doing really well.
He's doing all right. I hitched my what's the saying? You hitch your wagon to someone?
Yeah.
I think I made a good choice there.
With Camel Moon?
Yeah.
What about me?
Rising star.
I'm not really a rising star.
Camel Moon's
I'm kind of just like a
really
normal.
Good.
You're such a dick. Well, I mean, I hitch my wagon to you. I mean, that's good enough for me.
It's a chain. It's a
yeah.
Many
You guys
in this chain.
You guys are out front driving the car, and I'm like being dragged along the back on the ground.
Yeah, we're Camel and I. We're like we're bush rangers. What do they call bush rangers in the States? Like cattle thieves, or I don't know, whatever they are. Anyway, yeah, we're at the front, like yeah, and you're like tied up, getting knocked into bushes and stuff.
Mo says Rob is basically a barnacle. That's fair.
Is it? You're a barnacle attached to our ship? Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. What are we talking about tonight, Bancroft? What have you got for us?
We're gonna shit on everyone in comics.
Beautiful. Start
while I praise other people.
Okay.
Actually, well, let's start. Let's kick it off with this. I received. Back in the day, if you remember Poland from my show, he used to suggest, because I would always say I don't have an imprint, and he would say, why not Phenom Comics? Because you're just so phenomenal. And it was a completely coincidence that I ended up using the word phenomenal a lot, and it became kind of a meme. But I said to him, I'm not calling myself Phenom Comics. That's a bit much. And I remember Antoine agreed. He was like, that's a little bit presumptuous. So I thought, yeah, but these guys said, no, we are Phenom Comics. They did spell it like in a, I don't know, quasi-French way. I don't think that's how they spell it. Yeah, but they deserve it. Absolutely.
Top level.
Just, I don't know, like this is, I haven't read it, but the quality, the way it comes to me in perfect condition. I backed this like 2 weeks ago and it's here. And can I just say, I mean, I want to just open to some random pages. Actually, ones with like the samurais fighting. There's a bear for you.
That
Like it's
looks
like
sick.
that
Hang on,
for.
let me go
I mean,
full
how
screen.
thick is this thing? 300 pages. It's like that on every page. It's just, and it's Chuck Dixon writing it, so you know it's going to be good. Like this here, like talk about setting the bar. Like this is completely professional. How cool does that look? Like a friggin' what's
Hang
that?
on.
What's that Japanese director's name? Kurosaki. I don't know. Like, it just looks so good. It really makes you want to read it, doesn't it? It's like I want to just jump into this world and see what's going on. I love these backgrounds. Yeah. Just phenomenal art and colors, and it just gets you thinking. It's like this is who we're competing with for dollars. And it is
Kurosawa, people
not
saying.
Kurosawa. Thank you. It's not. What did I say?
Kurosaki?
That's not me. I said Kawasaki.
Kawasaki.
Yamazaki.
Get around the bike.
Suzuki. You know that guy. You know that famous
Yeah.
director, Shinto Suzuki. Like, yeah. Well, we really have to make sure that whatever we're putting out there is top notch, because I mean, it's only going to become more and more stuff is going to come out like that. Like these guys are obviously professionals, and then they've got Dixon writing it. It's like,
who's the artist on it? Like,
now the colorist I know is friendly with Comicsgate.
it
I'm
looked
pretty
pretty damn
sure.
good. The colorist.
Ivan Nunes. There's Taylor Esposito is the letterer. The artist is Mel Ruby. I don't know if that's a guy or a gal. And the inker is Rob Hunter. So they've got a proper team on this book. It's this whole kit and caboodle. I can't wait to get stuck in that. It's going to be a while. I've got I started. Can you believe it? I started Lost Pages last night. Ever since we
nice.
lost the internet, it's like I guess I
You're
can
getting
do some
work
other
done.
things. Yeah. Well, I'm getting work done, and then I'm also, I guess we just going to bed earlier because I'm like, I guess if there's nothing to watch on TV, because we can't watch TV without the internet.
Oh my god!
I will.
How are you living?
Wow, I've been playing a little bit of Hitman on the PlayStation, but only like an hour or so until I get bored of it, or maybe an hour and a half.
Is it good or is it you hating it?
No, it's PlayStation 2.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
it. I love that.
Yeah.
And yeah, just trying to do a little bit of drawing, but it's I don't know. It's a bit weird when I'm so used to drawing with Mel and having the TV there and stuff. I feel like I'm out of my element, but it's all right. I'm getting up earlier in the morning and catching up those hours there. But I thought, well, you know what? No TV. I'll read some books. So I started on Lost Pages 2. I've also got Tiger Blue there, Battlebrick Road, and Cryptidnals.
God,
So
nice.
after they're done, I'm jumping onto Hunter Ninja Bear, which is I'm just super impressed by the quality of the product, and it wasn't. You get a lot of book there for your buck.
Mo says, Rob, have you tried contacting Rob Hunter to work on your book? Something tells me you should make your presence known to Rob Hunter. I don't get that, Mo. I'm assuming it's some sort of joke.
Maybe he's being completely serious.
I can't tell anymore. I don't know. My radar's destroyed. Crackhead loves playing PS2. Dude's killing it, man. He's already broken 2,000 subs. He's getting like 100,000 views on his videos. He might get 1 million views on his House of the Dragon videos.
Look at it. It's evergreen
insane.
content. We've got at least 2 seasons. It's just going to keep growing. It'll become a massive show by all accounts. So yeah,
he should go back. He should go back and do like stuff for Game of Thrones too.
Why? No, there's so much House of Dragons content.
Yeah, but like, don't you reckon that'd be good too? No, okay, fine.
Maybe. I mean, if he has time and he wants to.
Ivan Nunes is a legit colorist too. The guy that they've got on that book. I tried hiring him. He's
I can see.
I'm too busy. Sorry, dude. Okay.
Well, yeah, he was doing this.
Yeah. 200 pages or whatever it is.
It's an interesting topic that too, because that's a Kickstarter book that maybe a year ago I wouldn't have backed because of where it was.
Oh,
Because I hadn't backed. I hadn't. Oh no, I had backed. I was still backing Max Smith on Kickstarter, but that's just. I feel like I got grandfathered in there. I'm not missing out on a Max Smith book, although he does, I think, eventually put his stuff on Indiegogo, but I don't want to risk it.
What? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Where do you want to go to now? I've got. I mean, Indiegogo, mate. I don't know. Like, Camel asked me to bring up some campaigns to show on the game show earlier, and like you load up trending, right? And this is it here. Let me zoom in a bit more. So this has got an hour to go, which we'll bring that up in a second. The Exiled, you got She here. You got this. These are both in demand. In demand. 23 days left in demand. Ended. And there's more too. There's more that are ended that I found down here. Like, what? This is their trending page. What is going on, Mike? Like, this is ended to. This makes no sense.
It's a joke. It's a joke, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they can fix it. I mean, I'm guessing that. I mean, you presume there's some sort of algorithm figuring this out, but I can't imagine what that is looking at this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to this. So I used to feel like it was what's most popular and what's happening. And it does seem to be. I mean, the Wesley Snipes book, Exiled, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But pretty much everything else, unless there's been a mad rush on She recently, maybe there has been.
You've
I
got
don't know.
Only Death Can Save Us too. Great. Yeah, fantastic. But why is it here now of all times? Like, this is in demand. It had like.
Yeah. Russ is probably like, where were you when I was funding?
Yeah. I mean, this finished November 2021. So it's beyond me. I don't get it. Like, this is trending. Like, should be all new projects and stuff that people would get excited about, but that's not what it is. This is closed now. This is finished. We can't even talk about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 5. Oh,
5.
Yeah. Is it? It's not in demand. It's just out. It's gone.
Yeah, just finished. Done. I think he's done really well. Like, he's done 22,000 on Indiegogo, and then if you look on Kickstarter,
I think he did about 150 on Kickstarter, 140.
Yeah, 140. I think it was. Here it is, 142. I mean, that's a pretty good effort. Wesley Snipes is not bringing the same kind of numbers as Keanu Reeves or Eric July, though.
Well, I mean that you're comparing apples and oranges there. Eric July is not a movie star, and at the same time, as much as I do enjoy a Wesley Snipes film, he's not Keanu Reeves in 2022.
No.
Maybe in 1995 he would have been, but not anymore. But I think they did incredibly well. You got to be happy with, over 100, like 6 figures and tons of things sold, and those Rob Willis covers are crazy.
There it is. There's that piece. So it must
Yeah,
have
that's what
been
I'm saying.
Kickstarter.
It was on that one. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Kickstarter only.
I sworn he said it was going to be Indiegogo.
I think it was, and then
he must have
Rob
changed his mind.
probably said, I want to do a new one. I got another idea or something. Because Rob tried out a new technique on the Indiegogo cover that he's never done before, that rain technique.
So, right.
Yeah. And I guess if Rob Willis is saying, I want to do another cover for you, you just kind of say, all right, sure.
What do we got here? Crackett says, this is why I'm hesitant to believe certain campaigns are getting shadow banned instead of it just being a crappy algorithm, especially when the campaign's claiming the ban pop right up upon search. It's a fair point, man. It's a fair point.
Wait. Sometimes you hit all. So you're not in trending, you're just launched, and you go through all of them and it's not in there. So I think it should be. So, okay, the trending algorithm can be busted, and I think we all know it is, at least to a certain degree. But you should as well still be able to click comics, explore all. But yeah, I don't know if they're like shadow banned as in how you would imagine it's done on Twitter, where it's like, screw this guy, you know. I think, but you know, I don't know how else to explain the Krishna one. And okay, it's the wrong word, shadow banned. Just like it's not appearing in the all section. But your one wasn't even appearing in search.
No, that I fixed that though. That was an error.
I agree. I think there's something funky going on with Indiegogo's explore section, and it probably has little to do with shadow banning as we traditionally understand it, and more to do with, I don't know, they need to update their code, or they don't have enough coders or developers working on it. But I mean, they are being weird with the payouts, so it's not as if there's no smoke at all. There's smoke. It's smoky in here. I'm not saying there's a fire, but there's definitely smelling a little bit of smoke.
Mike, we were talking about doing some campaign reviews. I don't know if Aquila would be up for that for his book, or if that's,
you know, funnily enough, Pete Samedi is going to start doing campaign reviews.
Is he?
But not just like campaign, but like anything. You know, what am I doing wrong? Sort of.
That's
treatment.
good.
He's gonna stop the
yeah. Sweet.
Because it just became a shill show where he was like, and his Pete Samedi, he's got this wealth of knowledge, and you know he's got the bona fides to back himself up. So you know there's weight in his opinions, and you know he would like tell them his opinion, and people get really upset and defensive. So he was like, well, I'm going to switch direction here and do more of you've got an issue, you know, something you don't understand, or something you think you can do better, but you want some advice, give us a call and I'll give it to you. Kind of show.
Jasper says, Comics Now Space get direct promotion. Just search direct. The shadow ban campaigns show up. Yeah, I mean that's like the problem for me though too. Like people like they have the links, they send them out, but there is no window shopping, right? There is no real, you know, let's walk by and see what's in the window, because it's not set up that way anymore. I don't know if this is new, Bancroft, like just how shit the campaign pages like on display on Indiegogo, like we just looked at, or if it's always been like this and we just haven't noticed.
No, I think it was better. I think it used to work better. Like I would always see whatever campaign is just launched pop right up on my homepage. And now there'll be maybe one mixed in with, like we just saw, one that's in demand and one that's ended a year ago. And yeah, I think, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. They should address that because it was a real thing. You know, your end of the 30 days, you'd get a nice boost. And I don't know if that's still happening. Obviously, I haven't run a campaign in a while, but people will let me know.
But like,
Outback says, you can review me, thumbs up.
Yeah. But like, if we're sending people directly to somewhere that has no real benefits for people like just browsing the whole store, I mean, why not send them somewhere more beneficial for us? Like a Shopify. I don't know. Do you want to have a look at this? I'm keen. Let's have a look. Quilla of the Phoenix Guard, #1, Nightmare Fuel. Police in the Solar System is Burden, a lone 24-page sci-fi comic that's out of this world. Yep, thumbnail image. It's pretty good. You agree? Disagree?
All good so far.
Yeah.
I prefer this image here.
Yeah, agreed.
As the main image, and I'll tell you why. If we go up,
yeah,
I don't want to, because I think that's Dean Comics Mate who did that piece there. Just me personally, I like the vibrancy of the colors on the bottom one.
Yeah,
better. They're both great pieces. I think now I'm nitpicking, but
I think you probably with this one, the fact that it's small doesn't do it justice, if that makes sense.
Well, you're cutting into a larger image.
Yeah.
Whereas on that one, I feel like that's the whole image.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It does do my head in, and this is not the case here, but when people just have their logos here, like there's no image, it's just like Aquila. And you're like, fuck, man, that's not going to sell you any books.
Yeah, you always got to remember the every scroll down, the real estate on the campaign is getting less and less important. So that like there's nothing more important than the top one.
Yeah.
So yeah, have an image there like that.
Mo says, my main problem with this campaign page is the funds raised is less than the color stretch goal.
He's just worried that he's back to a book that looks like a manga, essentially.
Right.
And he wants it to be more like a comic. Which is, and I think the black and artwork is fantastic. I'm happy with it, but the color work is something else too.
A back to basics comic in a setting inspired by retro sci-fi interiors by Carrie Salverio. The breakout artist of SPQR's Bizarre Adventure, Aquila seeks to take readers back to an age where heroes and villains were not always genius scientists and genocidal titans. Aquila tells real-world stories with the most unreal backdrop imaginable. Yeah,
I'm really digging all this. I grew up playing Space Quest, and they had that exact same approach to space stories. And I loved it. It was sort of like not the biggest, most craziest, most powerful person in the universe kind of stories. Just like just one of the guys getting by in this crazy world. Because the universe it's set in is crazy enough as it is. So I remember I had the same feeling when I backed Fatal. And then there's another book as well that has a similar thing. So I'm all for it.
All right, so this is probably the first thing I don't love, and this is just the text here. Like, there's no chance my brain is going to read that. It is way too hard for me to read. Would you agree, Mike?
Yeah, that's a graphic design faux pas.
It's just
the all caps, really tightly leading, where it's like jutting up against the line. Yeah, it's a bit much.
It's one of those things, like you see people do like these what's a word? Like I can't even think of the word, but I think it would look better as plain text underneath it.
Well, and as well, that's better for the SEO too.
Yeah.
All right. If you put all your text in an image, then obviously Google won't know about it. And plus, it might not be super viewable on a mobile. I don't know. It might be.
This is a really tough campaign because the black and white artwork plus the color artwork are both phenomenal. So
what's tough about that?
Well, I mean, I think it's
lots
a lot
of books
easier.
Do that.
I think it's a lot easier to sell a colored book, but the black and white is great as well.
That's what Kozor had as well.
Yeah,
they had a really good
I
black
guess
and white, and then
the difference is you could get both of them from the start, I think. Like, yeah. Anyway, again here, same thing. I don't love it. That's a cool design though. I'm digging this. This looks good.
Yeah, it looks like one of yours. with the glowing red
Yeah, it looks like a super
mask.
monkey or something. Pork Hunt for 10. Thank you so much, man. I heard about Camel's Neil Howell inspired paint by numbers and how his phone decided life wasn't worth living after what it was forced to document.
What's that in reference to?
I have no, it's way over my head.
You got to read Mo's comment under that. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Pork. Though.
Bancroft used to hack those games to use his Monkey Island self-insert character, Gaybrush Deepwood. The worst was Quest for Glory Holes. Oh my god.
I played Space Quest, Police Quest, and Leisure Suit Larry. My favorite was Space Quest, hands down. I didn't play Monkey Island until I was already a man, and I didn't hack it, so it was Gaybrush Deepwood. That does sound interesting.
All right, so let's have a quick look here. I'm not loving this image, Mike. I don't know why. What do you think about it?
What do you mean you're not loving it? What aren't you loving about it? Oh, the poo by numbers. He was talking about the poo by numbers.
Oh,
right.
Yes. Yeah, that was crazy.
If you're just tuning in now and you didn't watch the game show, Camel Moon would look back at his poo and see if it resembled a number. And if it did, he would take a photo of it to keep, I presume, in a folder of poo photos. And he was trying to collect all of them. And he did collect all of them 0 to 9, I presume, except for number 8, because 8 is very difficult.
I can imagine
would be quite difficult too.
I can imagine Camel in medieval times, and people coming to see him and go, Camel, can you show us what our future will be? And you're like, give me half an hour.
Yeah, I see it in the
poo.
Toilet bowl.
I don't know why I don't like it. I think maybe it would just be better if it was just the box without the background.
Oh, right. You're saying like the way it's laid out. Yeah. I think it's a little bit blurry too.
Yeah, it is a little bit blurry. Yeah.
Yeah. So just have the box by itself.
Yeah.
On white without the yellow glow. Might be a little cleaner. I know what you like. You like clean design.
This looks
like
fantastic.
That.
This looks great.
Aardvark says it's Poomerology. I know Camel's invented a new system.
Cool. I mean, this stuff's all good. I mean, that's a cool badge. This thing's fine. Again, I mean, I think what it is, I think it's the background detracts from the actual image being shown. I think that's what it is. And I could be totally wrong there, Bancroft. It's just my thoughts. Giving me nothing beautiful. Pork.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right for the. I see what he's doing. He's put the perk images out on the campaign page. I think you. Yeah, it is. It doesn't need to be there. You can just put the main image. Although he already has that image on the up above. So.
Pork for 5 again. Thanks so much, man. Mike, Rob, Camel's poo photos. Do I need to draw you a picture or take a photograph?
Please don't take a photograph.
Oh my
no
God,
DMs.
I can imagine him do it.
Thank you.
Pork again for 5. Will Camel's chocolate starfish be available at the Fan Fest as a pretzel presser? Oh my God, I hope
you
not.
can ask him for a special. I'm sure he would oblige.
Okay, so this is the cover here. I think he sold that already, which is fantastic. And then there's stretch goals. God, that's cool too. I like that.
Rich Ayala's legit. He's a legit talent. He's very he's capable of a lot of different things.
One thing I would say, and you may not agree with me here, is I would probably run this campaign again once it's done if you manage to hit the colors stretch goal and just run it as a color campaign as well. I don't think that would be too outrageous.
I've never heard of that before. I wonder what people would think about that.
Well, I mean, it kind of feels like the rules don't aren't really the rules anymore. You know what I'm saying? This is great. I'd probably put this somewhere up higher. I think this is really nice.
Yeah, but I get why he doesn't want to put it up higher, because he doesn't want to sell something. He doesn't want to promote something that isn't necessarily happening. So he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Pork for 2 again, Camel Moon, aka the Great Arsenio.
Arsenio. Arsenio. You get it?
Yes.
You know Arsenio Hall?
Yes, I get it. Mo says, I would not be a fan of that option. I was thinking of doing that, but the rules, yeah, man. It is so, like, you can do certain things, you can't do other things, and it's hard to know what's what sometimes. Overall, dude, I think this is actually a pretty decently laid out campaign. Like, the major issues are like these 2 pick images with that text. Do you have anything else, or should we have a quick look through the rewards?
Well, let's look at the actual, what's actually written.
I read that out before.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I'm not reading that. You can read that if you want.
No, I don't want to read it.
Cause my brain to bleed.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the perks then.
This is good. Let's have a look. Okay, so you got this Space Defender pack for 65. I mean, again, this is the same thing I said about the images. I don't know if I love the background. I think it takes away from the.
Can you click on that Space Defender pack?
Yep.
Yes. You look at all this stuff you get. You get Interstellar Edition, Lone Phoenix Guard Edition, Collector's Box, Phoenix Guard Pin, Black Skull Gang Patch, and Aquila Standee. All of that should appear in the image, in the perk image. So if you scroll up, I want to see it all there. I want to see exactly what I'm getting. That's like optimum. I know like some people can't do that because it's stuff that they haven't made yet, but I think you've got all of that in your campaign page. So it's too late now. You can't, unless you take that perk down and start it again, which is fine. You can do that too. I did that on a bunch of mine. You just lose that number of how many have backed it, but I mean, doesn't matter. I just like to, on the perk image, I really like to see exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah, I agreed. Yeah, agreed. You got $10 for the Interstellar Edition. So how many pages is it? You should have the page
20.
count. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, 24. I think that's fine.
So how much is the book itself? It's $15 for a 24-page book.
It's $10 on this one.
$10. Yeah. It's well priced.
And 15 here.
Yeah, it's a good price.
And
400. 400 is a lot for a comic. Oh no, that's the art. Okay, sorry.
That hasn't sold. That sold and that sold. That's pretty cool. So whose piece is that? Rich Ayala's piece hasn't sold. I think the only other thing is you don't have a large like variety of different priced, perks as well. That's the only other thing. Like you got 10, you've got 50, and then you got 65. There's nothing for people that want something higher, apart from this.
Except for the 400.
Yeah, except for the 400. 15 has extra bonus pages like character profiles. Cool. Yeah, I'd put that up. I'd put that in somewhere. Make that clear.
Hello, Courtney.
Ice Queen. I don't think I've seen Ice Queen before. She may be new, may not. Who knows? I can't remember.
That's what we used to call Mel, the Ice Queen on the poker table.
Still call her the Ice Queen.
Cold-blooded.
She'll shiv you and leave you feeling cold. No, this is good, man. This is really good. I would like to see, if you get funded, I would probably do another campaign at some point with color. Bancroft.
I mean, maybe. Will he get more backers, or will he get more backers if he just has a colored book in demand? People like to back a winner, and then he's got to go through the whole promotion thing again.
Mm-hmm.
And look at a guy like a channel like mine. I think I had him on. Did I have you on twice or once? but we definitely talked about your book a little bit, and then we had you on, and then we're going to have you on in a couple of days. So if you do another campaign and you come to me and say, hey, can I come back on? I'll be like, it's a lot. So it might be better to keep it in demand. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much that you'd need to change, if anything, really. I'd make those changes we said, but apart from that, I think you're pretty good. I think the price is fine. One thing I've kind of noticed is that people have been kind of the idea if they have like a really cheap book, it's going to sell more copies. I don't think it works that way unless you've got a massive audience. Like you look at your boy Zach, he's doing $1
Yeah, it's
books.
got to be a buck. It's got to literally be a buck for that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and this is so cheap. Who cares?
Yeah.
Kind of thing to kick in.
But like if you've got a $15 book or a $20 book, you knock $5 off it, it's not going to bring you in, like a significant amount more of backers because the pool's so small, I think. Well, that's just how I feel. I don't know if you guys in chat agree.
I am still juggling up over putting my reprint up for $20 though.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of that the initial campaign is more expensive. It's the first one. It's the bells and whistles. But as you go forward, the reprints you would hope will get progressively better value. Eventually you're doing an omnibus and everything's together for like $40, and that's like hundreds and hundreds of pages. So yeah,
this is
I don't know. It's not sort of about like I'm trying to make more money. It's more about I'm trying to do what I think is right for backers and getting because as well, I would hope that some people would want to, who've already backed Waking Dream the first time around, would want to back it again. Do they want to pay $25 again for Waking Dream, or have a bit of a discount? Considering, especially because it probably isn't going to have a fancy cover. It's just going to have a matte laminate or something.
I'm not talking about this book specifically, Mo, just in general. Like I've noticed a few people have gone, let's go really cheap and we'll get more backers because of it. And yet they might get more, but they're not, like if they half the price, they're not going to get double the backers. It's just not enough people for that.
Oh yeah. No, I think what Mo's talking about is different. It's related, but different. I think your boy doing it at $1, yes, absolutely. He got a lot more backers doing it that way than he otherwise would have.
Yeah, but Mike,
there is still a window.
So, like if you did the Lucent for $1, there's no way you're going to get 4,000 backers.
That's true. Yeah, no, yeah, I get it. There's a window, so it's like 24 pages, $25. You are going to cut out a lot of people. We've seen campaigns that have tried that, and they really struggle to, then maybe they'll get like 50 backers, and then it really starts to slow down. And then likewise, at the low end, you might get a few more. You might get an extra, I don't know, you might convince an extra 30 or 50 people to come on board. But if it's only like $5, it's not really going to, like 30 backers at $5 is not going to, light the thing on fire or anything.
Dude, I think you've done a good job for a first time. And you should have seen my first campaign. It was an absolute train wreck. So, and you've nearly got more backers than me than my first time. So where to go? There's a campaign I want to look at, Bancroft, but I don't know if we should because I don't know how it is.
Are you trying to start drama for me?
I'm not trying to, but it needs to be talked about, I think.
Oh my God.
So
when did we become this channel?
Wow, Hamill's influence. So Malin's doing a thing. This is not what I'm talking about, but I just wanted to bring it up because like I'm a little bit like, is this cool? Is this cool for people to do now? If it is, it's interesting to know. It says Godlike 2 Godlike second chance campaign will absolutely happen before we fill the initial campaign, allowing everyone to get the books at the same time. Expect around winter time for that campaign to start. In the meantime, we are launching Graveyard Shift, a Mega Storm campaign, 21st September. What do you think of that?
I think when you're John Malin and you're on your 5th book of the series, you can do whatever you want. He gets 700 people into every one of his streams now, sometimes more. He'll be fine. No one is not going to know about graveyard shift. What's it called?
Omega Storm.
Omega Storm. I don't know what I've never heard of this. I'm guessing it's some kind of supplemental side book.
That's not my question though. My question is the second chance campaign that gets fulfilled at the same time as the first campaign. Is that okay?
What do you mean okay?
Like, you would not expect there to be another campaign before the first one gets fulfilled, right? That's pretty... No?
I don't know. I think a lot of people do that. People can
Do
do
they?
whatever. Maybe
I can do that
how
then.
I feel about this. People can run their businesses how they see fit. And if it isn't okay, as you put it,
Really?
the backers will. Yeah, I think so. I didn't like second chance campaigns that I remember. I think they've all happened because people close their campaigns for whatever reason.
Can I do that too then?
Yes.
If that's all right, can I
What
do
do you
it as
mean,
well?
Rob? I don't know why you're asking. Like, can you and are you allowed to? There's nothing stopping anyone from doing anything. You can put up a campaign tomorrow and get a whole bunch of backers and then run off with their money. You can do that if you want. It's not going to work out well for you, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying? No, I think lots of people have done that, and it'll be up to the backers to decide whether or not they. I mean, I think who said that? Was it Sumo or Micro? Yeah, Sumo. It's no different than if you just left it in demand.
I like it. I like it. I would have thought it would be like a backer, like a no for backers. You know, like they back the book.
Why?
They expect to get it. They back the book. They expect to get it. Whoever missed out gets it after them. But if they're cool with it, man, that's cool with me.
Well, look, to me, the way I interpret it is everyone is still, it's still a crowdfund. Everyone is still backing it. It hasn't come out yet. It's in production. It's about to be printed. And yeah, it's just like it took a little pause. I mean, it's kind of like part of the, I think Cyberfrog, the original one, had like 3 campaigns attached to it. It was all broken up. Now, I don't know why people take campaigns down. Oh, we know why Malin does. He only does the 60-day thing. And then it's over. So maybe on the second chance, it's a new cover or something like that. So it's different. So you won't be able to get the initial, you probably won't be able to get the original skull cover on this second chance campaign. I think that's how he does it. I think that, yeah, that's fine. It's like, it's a new thing. It's a different thing.
Jasper says, sell Waking Dream first print for 30 to 35 and sell through your back stock. Then offer all following print runs of Waking Dream for 20 without the gimmick cover.
That's essentially what I'm doing, yeah. I'm already doing that. I've already upped. It's $30 for Waking Dream now. There's like 15, 20 left. If there are any left by the time I go live, it'll be on the campaign for that price. And yet $20 for the reprint with the new cover. That's what I'm thinking.
Fox says, Rob is worried he might do something that makes him a pariah. You're already one Rob, but that's why we're here. Cool. Well, that's good to know. Camel says, I think for first-time creators, not so much for multiple campaigns by one creator. It's probably writer, easier to swallow. Can you decipher that? That's like when I talk. Micah says, I don't care unless you promise an exclusive for backing at a certain time. Even then, I'm not going to write. It's more a trust side of things. Mo says, Malin literally did a second chance variant for the cover campaign before the Andrew Herwerda cover. Yeah, he did. I just forgot that. Yep. So I'm wrong. Fantastic. I love being wrong. Do it, Rob. Sumo says, it can't be any worse than totally ignoring gifted memberships. Did someone gift memberships? I can't see that. Oh, Sumo Thori gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, man.
Do they get snapped up straight away?
Yeah. KSSS,
Dimwitted
Chicken, Michael, Salty Curry Alt, and Lethal Diva. Thanks so much, Sumo. It's much
So I made that video for nothing.
Did you? Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it took me a minute, but, you know, I still made it.
The hurt is too deep. I'm gonna type the campaign I want to look at in private chat, Bancroft, and you can tell me if it's a bad idea. I know you think all my ideas are bad, so it's probably not going to happen, guys.
You're putting me in an impossible situation here, Rob.
That's what I do, isn't it? That's
No, I think we'll just do something else.
All right, give me something then. What do you got?
Oh, I don't know. It's your show.
That was my idea. You turned it down. This is what we've got. Sumo said, I think it was Sumo, that Clint is fulfilling Dracula and not Fatal still.
Yeah,
Felix
see
said
that there's a topic. What
Go.
happens there? Like that's the conundrum that Cal finds himself in with Shinobi Sasquatch for years. And then it gets to the point where it's like, what do you do as the writer who's dependent on artists when artists fail to deliver on the within the timeline that was originally agreed upon? Do you just do nothing? You just like, oh well, I guess that's my fate. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I think as long as the creator is open and transparent about what's happening, I think Clint's been he's got a lot of updates on that campaign. He's been pretty clear. There's been a myriad of issues with the art production on Fatal. The story was written long, long ago. So onwards and upwards for Clint, and Fatal is still happening. I think it's actually getting close to production.
I think it's really close.
Yeah.
Nolan Lockhart for 20, dude. Appreciate it so much. You're appreciated, Rob. Thank you so much. And he's also picked up a membership. So much appreciation. Thank you so much. It's a tough one, man. You get in these situations where you're a writer and you're hiring artists, and you've got like the book halfway done, and you just you don't get ghosted, but it slows down to a snail's pace. What do you do?
Mhm.
Like, what are your options? You can't go, I'm gonna fire him and hire a new artist halfway through the book. I mean, you can, but that's a shit option. So what do? You just wait. That's pretty much
and then the backers are out there saying, we're not going to back anything from you until that book is fulfilled. So you're literally stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm glad I don't have to go through that.
I don't think Cal handled it very well.
I don't know. I can't remember. I wasn't really paying too much attention to the whole situation. I'm more of a back and forget kind of guy. And
he kind of went off a few times on a few different people. But I mean, it's frustrating. I get it. Fatal isn't finished, says Jaro, but it's due to health issues, though. I don't know if it is, man. I just think that he's
it's a lot
very
of
slow.
Issues.
Yeah, he's slow. I got a new artist after my book was done. Yeah,
it's true. He did that.
Damn. Did he really?
Yeah, you could actually talk to him, because that's what we can talk about. Your review.
Oh yeah.
Because they were talking about it on Well Read. Like, would you ever consider going back and remaking the first issue to bring it more in line with the quality of the subsequent issues?
Definitely, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think my first issue was okay. Like, I don't even know how you'd rate it. It was serviceable. It was okay. It was decent. It wasn't mind blowing. It wasn't groundbreaking. I think I've definitely stepped up each issue, at least in some aspects. Would I go back and do it? Yes, definitely. But then the question is, like, where do you stop? Do you just keep going back and changing everything? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like people ask you, what are the classics of comic books? And they go, oh, yeah, V for Vendetta and Sandman. Go back and look at some of the art on those, and you'd be like, oh.
3 was the weakest, Jasper. God damn. Savage.
So I don't know if it's like super terribly important. I think it's just like, I would think just go forward. Just go
Yeah.
forward. Yeah, so you had a review from Well Read and Gang, and there was a lot of criticism levied at the book. None that I heard of the colors on the
God,
third issue.
let the
In
colors
fact, did
go.
nothing but praise.
I know. I know.
You did have 3 cracking covers on that book, I have to say. But how was that? What was that experience like, listening to
It's
a show
interesting.
dedicated to
It's
critiquing your...
interesting because like I'm fairly well aware of my problems, my issues, my
Mhm.
failures, my all that kind of
Your
stuff.
shortcut. No, they're not failures. You got
Shortcoming.
3 books out. You got 3 books out, which is more than what 99% of people who want to put books out have done. But
Yeah.
yeah, shortcomings is probably the word for it.
But yeah, I mean, it's still definitely confronting when you hear it out loud. I don't know why. It just is.
We were chatting. Let's go full disclosure here. We were sort of here and there chatting. I mean, you were with in-laws or something, so it wasn't full on or anything. We didn't go into the weeds of it. But I noticed, and I notice this in myself all the time. I do the exact same thing. I'm not laying this on you, but you get kind of defensive when someone is going after what you do. It's the initial reaction that every human has. You're like, oh, and then you take what they're saying as kind of an attack on you. And I was noticing that, yeah, they were saying things and you were saying, but that's not fair because I did this and that. And it's like, I understand that they're not critiquing you, they're critiquing just the book.
Yeah.
And the book isn't you, you're not the book, you created the book. But a lot of the issues that they brought up are things that were just almost unavoidable. And I think one of the key takeaways that Aldous had was he really liked the direction that the second one went in. And I think it had a lot to do with Aaron's art. A lot.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, well, why not continue that direction? And then as a creator, you run head first into the issue of where and how do I find another Aaron Alfecci? And
You
like,
can't.
show me the artist out there that exists, that I have access to and I can pay and is reliable and will stick with me. And that's where you run into that issue where you're like, all right, well, it's either I pivot and I find a new artist and we go in that direction with that new artist, or it just doesn't happen at all. And that's sort of the reality that I think a lot of creators like yourself are in the situation. Like, that's the boat you're in.
It's really tough because you don't have many options. Like I couldn't keep a hold of Aaron. It's like I don't know. It's like you're a minus sports team and you've got a superstar on your hands, and a big club comes in and poaches it. Like you can't stop.
I don't like the word poaching, but maybe in this instance it is correct because he was actually contracted.
Yeah.
To.
But I mean, yeah. What can you do? And that's the thing. Like, do I wait and try and find another Aaron Alfecci? How long is that going to take? It's gonna
I mean, they may not. That's the thing. They may not exist. At least someone that's available to you. Someone who really got that. And I really did love the kind of military aesthetic that he was able to bring to that. And I know I don't know if this is public, but he wasn't like a big fan of the colors. I loved the colors in the second one. I thought it really set the tone.
He hated the colors. Yeah, no,
I thought they were great. So, well, that's fine. I don't think that matters. It doesn't matter if an artist hates the colors. Like, if you like the colors and you're happy with them, I thought they were great. But yeah, it's just that's the thing. Like, a lot of the time, it's like I hear the criticisms, I actually agree with them, but there's no way to address them in any kind of practical way in our situation. It's either it happens this way or it doesn't happen at all. They're the two options. So but I understand you get kind of defensive when someone's critiquing what
I thought their
you've done.
critiques were great. I thought that there wasn't really anything I disagreed with what they said. The only things I guess was slightly frustrating is stuff that I can't control. Like they're saying they mentioned that the book should be like a graphic novel, so that the story is kind of all encompassed and it doesn't have breaking points. Can't do it that way because it much money. Like it costs too much money to do it that way. You've had similar critiques too, Bancroft.
Oh yeah, I mean that's been the number one critique, and it could critique, and it will continue to be as long as I do Lucent crowdfunders. It will continue. I mean, I'm making a lot of efforts to at least soothe those critiques and address them, but yeah, the final overarching story of the Lucent with Ella, it's going to take me 6 books. It's going to take a long time for me to really finalize that. And there's no going back now. I can't go back and alter it and just tell a completely different story. And I don't want to. I love my story and I want to continue writing it. So I just have to cop that on the chin. And they're completely valid critiques. If you want a self-contained story in every book that is completely tied up in a bow, yeah, you're not going to get that with my books. And there's nothing I can really do about it. I can give you longer books so that that address a lot more stuff and a lot more answers are given, and then there is a sort of a mini arc that's completed, a sort of the part of the character development that is completed each book. But I can't finish the story. And that's just the way it is. So yeah, a lot of these things, and if it's sort of out of your hands at that point, you can't really worry about it. All you can do is just take the hit as it comes and keep going forward.
Simply Green says you may just have to wait for people to complete arcs and release a completed arc. It's the same thing. Like you need to make the money to finish it.
Yeah, if you're a writer hiring artists, I mean, we're talking some of these arcs might be I don't know how many pages, I don't know, 500 pages at hundreds and hundreds of dollars a page. It's not feasible. So that's where it becomes a question of we do it this way or we don't do it at all. I mean, I hope you want us to do it.
Yeah.
And we'll be there. But yeah, a lot of books have this. A lot of the books have the same issue, Groken, which is pretty unanimously praised for its especially for its art. We're all waiting to sort of decipher more of the story and the world that is building, but that's the thing, it wasn't a finished story. Yeah, there's nothing we can really do about that other than just keep going forward. And I mean, one of the biggest reasons that I'm so dedicated to keeping a very active and engaged presence on social media is so that people have more trust in me for the Lucent. That's just I don't think I could do what I do with the Lucent without that, because it's asking way too much of readers to just accept, oh yeah, this guy will be back in a year and a half or whatever with another book, and thumbs up. It's a lot to ask.
Jeff says $25 plus shipping commands a fair page count.
Yeah, I agree.
Lepresti,
and quality count too. Quality too.
And Tucci and Kenneth raise the bar for value per dollar. Yep. They're all full time too. That makes a big difference. I mean, if Bancroft was able to do Lucent full time, it would be a huge difference between what he's able to get out.
Massive.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having an extra like 8 to 10 hours a day to draw?
Mo says, you can
Crazy.
tell that Painter Death benefit from Bancroft's interactions with Rod. He really has an appreciation for the importance of added girth.
That's what I'm told. Size matters.
For now, it's a business choice rather than an artistic one. Who knows what may change in the future for creators and their mighty cocks? Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that, Mike. Really,
but it's good. I like these shows. I like these review shows.
Yeah,
I think there should be more of them. It's just, yeah, it's not like super popular YouTube, so I understand why there isn't. But yeah, it would be great, and hopefully it'll continue. They did one on the Lucent, and I went in there just like you did and took my licks as well. I mean, I had some absolutely shocking reviews on Waking
Did
Dream,
you?
like, oh yeah, this is an F. It's the worst thing ever. They were, yeah, that was interesting.
That's tough. How'd you deal with that?
The F that was
How did Mel deal with it? Let's be real. How did Mel deal with it?
Mel was constructing a flamethrower in the backyard, but no, like some people, I don't know. I must have done a insufficient job in promoting the kind of book it was. I thought I'd done a pretty good job in sort of what you were getting, but some people thought they were getting something different, so they were disappointed. Others, I think, were a little unfair in their critique. But that what they say is how they feel. Whether or not I think they were right or wrong or hypocritical or whatever, that's their business. And then I had glowing reviews. And look, that's the thing. When if one person gives you a good review, that's all you need. You can get like 100 bad reviews, but one person comes to you and says, I really like what you did. It really spoke to me. I really enjoyed it. That's it. Like, you don't need anything else after that. It's fine at that point and you're good to go. So it's part of selling stories for money. You got to take criticism on the chin, and yeah.
Pork says the difference with Aaron Graham and Billy is their work fits genres long established in comics. You're breaking new ground with the Lucent, Michael.
That's what thank you, Pork. I'm going to use that. I'm going to say the Lucent is breaking new ground. That's why I can't describe it to you.
Michael says many reviewers deserve an F for their reviews quality. Okay, fair enough. Part-time writers can produce more than part-time artists. Polton has a full-time job and family. Yeah, he's a machine. Yeah. Mark Polton.
Well, some artists as well, part-timers
can
somehow do it too. But I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think like it has to be said too. In a lot of cases, a lot of people reviewing these books have come from growing up on the mainstream and used to that kind of quality, like the good stuff, And a lot of us, it's our first time books and we're doing the best we can. I mean, it's just how it is, Mike. I don't know what else you can really say about it. It's the best that the person could do at that time.
Yeah, who was saying it? I think it was Ethan today talking about, was it Ethan? Someone was talking about this is his first ever book. No, it was Pete Samedi. And he was saying some of these books, it's their first ever books, it's their first ever time drawing a comic, it's their first ever time drawing this stuff. And I was thinking, yeah, that's the Lucent. Like the first page, the very first page, like all of that was the first ever serious comic book panels I ever drew. So you kind of can become a bit of a a sort of I mean, I don't want to say a victim because that doesn't work like that, but you become trapped up in you get out there and you're like you sell 1,000 copies on your first book. It's like I think yeah, people should rightly feel like, well, I can give this an honest critique. Whereas from my perspective, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm trying, guys, we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit of a mismatch, but it's fine. It's, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't like trade those 1,000 backers for anything in the world.
Enrique says, I believe it's called Suffering from Success. I think you made a couple of really good decisions with your book, and that was hiring Joe as an editor. I don't know how much he has improved it, but going back and not putting out the crackhead cut as the book is probably a really smart move for you.
Yeah, it's like I look back on me thinking, because it was a long time I was selling and promoting that book without Joe as the editor. A long time. He came in a decent way in. And that's, a big part of why it took probably an extra 6 months longer than I was expecting it to take, because Joe was like in there with his red pen. But I mean, forget about it. Like, he's worth every penny that I paid him. And I mean, it seems insane to me to try and tell a story like The Lucent without an editor. Just absolutely insane. I don't think it could be done.
I think it's like a big difference too. The fact is I want to say kind of like in-house, like he's available. You can talk to him. You can jump on a stream and talk to him. It's a lot different than just having an editor that you email back and forth with ideas, because you can actually convey what the message is that you're trying to convey. So I think that was a huge, huge thing for you.
Yeah, poor Joe. I can't remember how many sessions we had, but they were hours and hours long. And we went through the entire Lucent saga.
Lucky Joe.
From like starting, I don't know, 20,000 years ago up to the completion of the arc. And yeah, he sat through the whole thing, just sitting there, taking notes, and and then at the end of it, he just shot me back so many questions. Like when it was all done, he'd like write down notes and leave points and stuff. And that process was invaluable. And we hammered out a good number of, I wouldn't call them plot holes, but like interesting plot points that we really needed to put a magnifying glass on, and then one genuine plot hole that he sorted out that has direct ramifications to, say for instance, that scene I've been drawing on the streams lately in the pub. That scene with your favorite character with the ear,
douche lord,
the douche lord Morrow. Yeah, that scene is a direct result of my conversations with Joe. It really slid in there and needed to be there. But that's the brilliance of having editors.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Michael says vets have certain developed skills, but newcomers often have years of pent-up creative energy finally released in their first work. Yeah. Micah, what's crazy is that Valiant Comics was pre-Antos solidified as the fourth largest NA publishers. They sold 5 to 10K a month. You're already 20% there off your first.
Hell Comicsgate.
Yeah, it's insane, man. You've got 2 editors on Aquila. It's great. Pork says, you know the story in your head because you live it. Others don't have that privilege, hence editors.
Exactly.
Jasper says, if you want to sell the shit out of the second printing, include the crackhead cut in the same book.
I don't know about that, Jasper. I mean, I have some crackhead cuts left that I can put as an add-ons on the campaign, but I don't know if I'll include it in the first book. I mean, it's an interesting curiosity. But it's like when you watch a Star Wars documentary of George Lucas's first ideas, with the Lord of the Bogan and all that sort of stuff. It's like,
I'm actually excited for Camel Moon's Boots and Heels. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
I'm
back
excited to get
House.
House Salad. I can't
I,
wait for that thing.
I didn't back House Salad because it's not really my thing. I don't really like. Is it parody? I guess
I pity the
parody.
fool. No, it's not a parody. It's he's created a story with the characters that he created. Now the characters he created are based off real people, sure, but they're his characters, and there's a a story where they go out and they fight these troll things, and yeah, it's I mean, I think it's going to be great. I hope it is.
House
Looks
Salad or
great.
Boots on Hills?
House Salad. Oh, I mean, yeah, but Boots and Hills will be a whole new thing. I think Boots and Hills is going to be pretty big.
I was really impressed with how the covers turned out for his House Salad books. They look really good.
Yeah. Have you seen his interiors?
No.
Yeah, they look great too.
Very good. Yeah, I think he'll do really well. He's launching October 14th, Bancroft.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to break the news to Jasper, mate? I don't want to tell him, but he's going to kill us.
Just leave it. It's fine.
Oh yeah. What else you got going on, Mike?
Well, let's just say it. All right, you say it.
I don't think I'm launching this year, Jasper. I don't think it's happening. I know you want us to, but there's still lots of work to be done, and it's stuff that you need, like covers and colors. And I know you'll just say launch, but it's at the point, Mike, and I don't know if you agree, but it's kind of like I'm at the point now, like every campaign has to be some sort of success because the money I'm putting into it is getting crazy. So
yeah, we literally cannot half-ass it. I'm gonna want a full month.
Yeah.
Of just nonstop promotion leading up to it, which means I'm going to be doing giveaways. I'm going to be just like streaming like a madman. You're going to know that Paint to Death is about to go live. It's not like everyone is going to know about it. Now, on top of that, we're getting close to we're getting very close to the event horizon. Like Camel is just sneaking in before because that holiday black hole is right there, and you don't want to get sucked into that. And I'm in the same boat. Now the thing that I'm saying is, it's not like you are going to, like me saying I'm going to launch next year. It means you're going to get your book later. You're going to get your book at the same time. You're always going to get it, whether I launch now, whether I launched 6 months ago, or whether I launch at the start of 2023. It's getting into your hands at the exact same time. I have a schedule and a whatever that I draw at, and like I can't make it any faster. But it is what it is. So you will get your book when you get it. And my idea is that I think the backer would prefer to not have any money invested and just be able to catch the streams, the draw streams, and see a bit of the art as I share it as I go. And then once they do finally invest, they get their book sooner. Then me to do it the other way. And kind of I would have to half-ass the campaign to get it out.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a cover. I don't have a cover for the reprint. I don't have a trailer. I have 5 pages or so colored to a standard that I like, but on top of that, I don't have the month of just straight promotion. Like we announce, we are launching, and it's on.
And that's the thing too. Like you need the cover, you need the other cover, you need
that's
the
how
trailer.
you promote it.
They're the things that put butts on seats. They're the things that
I think that's one of the
buy.
big reasons why I have 1,000
Yeah.
signups right now is because people
Dead
really
set.
liked my
That trailer was
teaser
was
trailer.
fire.
Yeah.
March 2023, Lucent 2 versus Rep 4 race to 100k begins. Mike will hit 100k before I do, for sure. He's killer. Mobig says Bancroft has to prepare for the 3rd annual Renchi Awards. Sumo
True.
says you should definitely wait until you can full arse at Bancroft.
Yeah, there's exactly. I want to full ass this thing.
Jasper's so upset he's left chat. He's not even here anymore. What have you done, Mike?
But hey, maybe, and I don't know, maybe it will coincide with one of the Rippaverse launches. So
maybe.
If that's the case, then that's a good thing.
Jasper says, nah, man, you're good. Just know that one book per year doesn't keep excitement for the IP or move us to a parallel alternative. This is crowdfunding, though, remember? Yep. Dude.
No, I'm well aware of that. And that sort of speaks a little bit to what we were saying earlier, where I think a lot hinges for me on this second book. Like, what's it going to do? What
it's
are we
scary,
talking
though,
about
isn't
here?
it? Like, there's stakes.
There's stakes. There's stakes to the future of my career. Is what I'm building here real enough that I can take a gamble with my family's finances and cut back on my full-time job so that I have more time to work? I mean, these are big decisions. I'm not gonna I got 2 kids in school. I've got a household to support here, so I can't just sort of jump into the deep end without really knowing that whatever this is that's happening is real. And yes, so there's a kind of a fair amount riding on what this second campaign does, and this is one of the reasons why I put so much work into YouTube as well, because that's sort of like an added. It means each of them, the YouTube and the campaigns, there's less pressure on each of them if they're both humming along well.
Yeah.
And can you imagine how much drawing I could get done if it's just like, I would draw from friggin' 6 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m. at night. Imagine how much I'd get done.
Barry's got an interesting question. He says, lads, if you're offered an opportunity to work paid on the Rippaverse, but it meant losing a year on making your own projects, would you take it?
No. There's no IP out there that I would be interested in working on. It doesn't matter. Spider-Man, Batman, whatever, Rippaverse, Cyberfrog, nothing. There's no amount of money that anyone will be willing to pay me. I have a number, but no one would be willing to pay that. They would go to someone else. They'd go to Todd McFarlane before they gave that money to me.
But Mike, let's say you just get like a standard industry rate, right? Whatever it is, doesn't matter. But the fact that Gabe colored that book and went from $60,000 US to $100,000+ on his own book, I mean, that would be tempting.
That's an idea. Yeah, there's something there. Like, it's a big platform, but
massive.
A year away from working on my project would be. I don't know if I could do that.
D says, I've been getting refunds on membership gifting as an FYI. They've been coming through, man. So feel free to keep giving them. They've come.
Yeah, I think it's all fixed now.
It's fixed.
Pretty sure.
Submit a pitch to Eric. You have an impressive resume. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I am equally bad. I'm way worse at receiving compliments than negative comments, Bancroft. I don't know if that's just a me thing or if you feel that way too, but it's weird. It's weird. And the thing, like with Bancroft's success too, and mine, having that money, Mike, allows you to do more books too, because it gives you rod. Gives you some rod.
Gets me rod, exactly. That's going to be a big thing. So I'll have Fractured Mind to be able to launch between Painted Death and the third book.
Yeah.
That's massive.
And who
I'm,
knows? Like,
hoping if this momentum goes, maybe I'll have 2 books to launch between my main books.
exactly.
Eventually.
So there is a way where you can get more stuff, like more content, more comics out, but it revolves around you making more money, which is unfortunate. It's just the way things are. I hope you do really well. I think you will. Jaro says, I love to hear that Bancroft is all in on his own IP.
Oh man, I've been living and breathing this thing for over a decade now. And now it's finally starting to like become real. Even when I had 25,000 subs on Webtoons, it still kind of felt like, it's just like a hobby. Now, for the first time ever, it's starting to actually feel real. Yeah, I mean, I'm all in on this. If I wasn't working on the Lucent, I wouldn't be doing comics. I wouldn't be drawing a comic. There's no way. It's so much work. It requires so much effort. Like, I don't actually know how these guys do it as hired jobs. It is so much work.
Yeah.
You gotta be like exceptionally passionate about it to be crazy enough to think about drawing a comic.
But like, hopefully, Mike, you'll get 2 books out next year. Like, you'll do Painted Death, and you'll
That
do
would be
Rod's
awesome.
book. Yeah. I mean, I've got a similar sort of thing too, but you don't know until you're actually there if it's going to happen or not. D for member for 2 months says 1 month and many more to come. Thanks so much, man. I got some art in Bancroft, which is just ridiculous. I'm like, seriously, guys, I'm doing the best I can possibly do for Rep 4. So this is Shelby's inks over Alan Goldman's pencils, and they are just ridiculous, man. Look at this thing.
Yeah, Shelby's a crusher.
He's a murderer.
I've been getting a lot more respect because I've been seeing other people's inks.
Yeah.
And being a little disappointed. Obviously, I'm not going to say who, but just like I see them out there, I'm like, oh, that I really like the pencils on that piece, whereas the inks were like, they were good, but yeah, Shelby is a boss.
Dude, I asked him, I've said, like, I know you don't like inking anymore. Who would you recommend? And I gave him a list of like 5 or 6 inkers. He's like, nah, they're not good. They're not good. They're not good. Fuck it. I'll just do it myself. I'm like, sweet. So yeah, I think he's killed this piece, man. I love it.
Yeah, you don't realize how much the inker like comes into play.
Yeah.
It was probably all that Chasing Amy propaganda about being a tracer. Like you just think, they're just going over the pencils, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah. Alan was so happy with him. He's like, can I recommend Shelby for more jobs? And I'm like, dude, let me ask him first, because I don't think he really wants to ink. I think he wants to do his own stuff. And like, I get it, man. He's been inking a long time, and he's a sensational artist on his own accord. So yeah, it looks sick. Thanks, Barry. Says it looks great. It's colossal, Rob. What's going on the back? It'll just be like character details, man, of these characters. So I can't wait. It's gonna be sick. I might even get Mike to do the trade dress, Mike. So Mike's like, nah, but I can be persistently annoying. We'll see. You muted, dude.
Why am I muted?
I don't know. I didn't mute you.
It's weird. Ghost top left. I said, let's go through them. Ghost top left.
Mm-hmm.
Goliath in the center.
Yeah.
Do we know that guy's name on the right?
It's a Reaper mech.
Reaper mech. Okay, that's the one that gets chopped in half by Swatch Watch in book 3.
Swatch Watch. There's Michael.
The head. I'm surprised you put him in there. I didn't realize he was such a big character, but I guess he is. He's going to play a bigger, more important role going forward.
That's the thing, man. Like we kind of have a similar problem. There are so many different things going on in this book that it's hard to sell it as it's this and this. Like there are so many different connecting things that happen, and it's going to go places you don't think it's going to go. And it like the end journey, like when it gets to its final destination, is going to be amazing. But it's going to take a little bit of faith for people to get there, because it's not just a story of, you know, a superhero goes and does this and there's like lots of different interconnecting storylines. So there you go.
So hang on. We weren't finished there. Go back up. In the middle, we've got Strong Jaw.
Onslaught. Very good.
Onslaught.
Onslaught.
With her cattle. She doesn't have a cattle prod with her, but that's her.
No. Yeah.
Pain.
Mm-hmm.
On the right. In the center there is my favorite character, Swatch. Yeah. And Valen.
Yeah, very good.
Valen looks like he has mutton chops there. Is that?
He does, doesn't he? I don't know why that is, but you know, that's fine. It looks good. And yeah, is there immortal snails? Yeah, under the question mark is the immortal snail.
That's the giant immortal snail. You can kind of see a little bit, actually. You can see him. You didn't really cover him up 100%.
Oh shit! Yeah, I did, didn't I? Oh, let's get rid of that.
I can see what's there.
Because
I've seen the official thing.
Yeah.
And that is the Replicator. I mean, everyone knows it's the Replicator.
Oh, D gifted 5 memberships again, man. Thank you so much. You're a legend. Let's see if they go off. Yep, Aardvark, Robot Life, McGregor,
excellent.
the Gloominati. All these
gotta say
lurkers
McGregor like that. What's that?
So many lurkers in here, Bancroft.
Oh, yeah. People lurk. I should have lurked today. I felt so bad. Neff had a guest on, and I made a comment, and everyone was saying hello to me, and Neff kept pulling it up that people were saying hello to me, and it just completely derailed the whole stream. And they started talking about my channel and everything, and this poor guest was sitting there just like, I don't know who he said, like they made him say, "What's a Bancroft?" I was like, I shouldn't have said anything because they kind of stole his time.
It's not the first time you've ruined a stream. I know.
So yeah, sometimes you just lurking is might be the best course of action.
Yeah. Huge October. I mean September. Lots of launches. It's going to be.
This is the biggest month I think we've seen since March this year. In CG, it's just like it's wall to wall, and I just added the Malin Omega thing for Graveyard Shift, so I just got even bigger.
Do you want to bring them up and we'll have a look?
Mo says that happens on every episode. Okay, thank you, Mo. I felt bad. I had to leave. I was like, oh, I'm ruining it.
Mo says the creator has to be able to hold our attention or everyone starts talking about other things.
Okay,
right.
All right, good. Yeah, I don't usually get to catch Neff's show much because it's right during my work meeting. So
is it this weekend that everything's kicking off? John says big weekend.
Yeah.
Do you have CG now? Do you want to bring it up and we'll have a look? Or can you not because your internet shit?
No, I can do it.
Aardvark said he's making changes to his campaign. That's cool, man. Let us know if you get it finished. We'll bring it back up and have a look. Feels like next year is going to be a big year, though, Bancroft, for both myself and you too, as to what moving forward, what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Exciting.
So Wraith of God launches
so is that
tomorrow?
Today? Tomorrow. Okay.
Well, I mean, this grey thing that's for me. So they're still, I mean, I guess they've just flicked over to the 8th now. So that's happening tonight or today, whenever that's happening. I'm pretty sure Ethan said he wants to launch this. Someone did a review Wrecked Planet, and they put Wraith of God and Wrecked Planet up as like pinnacle books. So
very
like
nice.
that's a pretty good. Yeah, I've heard really good things about Wraith of God. I'm really upset I wasn't able to get it. It's just a shipping thing. But yeah, I'm hearing really good things about it. So I think that will be like it's like a perfect time for him to just jump right into this second one. Loose
Someone was
threads.
saying the other day on Eric's show, they reckon Wraith of God's going to break 200K. I'm like,
I think that'll become more. I think
ambitious.
that'll become more familiar, like more commonplace. It used to be you sort of had to be kind of like a superstar, a CG superstar for that to happen. But I think I don't know, over the next couple of years, whereas like Clint Stoker made 100,000, Eric Weathers, Von Klaus,
but the difference
like
between
those guys
100
make
and
100.
200.
Yeah, but I think that will eventually
Ginormous.
happen. And I think the difference will be people who have multiple books to their names. So they have back catalogs to sell. And that's how you get that. Making money is about getting the average backer number up.
Yeah.
You've got 1,000 backers with a back catalog of 20 books. I mean, you'll be rocking it. As long as you're getting in front of new people all the time in the interim, new readers. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Aardvark for 2 says, thanks for the advice. I've updated the campaign. Sweet, man. Good job. We'll bring it up after we look through these. Have a quick squiz at it. Loose Threads is Mark Polton's new book, John. I don't know much about
Loose
it.
Threads. It sounds great. So imagine you've got a slew of ragtag superheroes that have had their books cancelled. So it's meta. It breaks the fourth wall. And now they're just sort of in limbo. They're in purgatory because their books are cancelled. So they don't have a conclusion to their heroic storyline. And I don't know if it's a one-off or it's an ongoing or whatever, but they're going to join together and somehow try and finish their stories. So it's very self-referential. It's kind of like Deadpool, I'm guessing, where he talks a lot about the fact that he's in a comic. But it's one of the best premises I've ever heard. It really is a good hook. So yeah, I mean, Mark is one of those guys who's got an excellent pedigree, so I'm sure this will do well too.
I think Fiendish is going to go off. I really do.
Fiendish is going to go berserk. I think she's up to like 1,500 signups or something, which is, I think that's about what
it's like mail-in numbers.
Shane Davis had for Inglorious Rex. I'm pretty sure something like that. So yeah. And I think the art on this one is better, a lot better than the first one. And the first one was good. It was sort of like an American manga style. I remember thinking I could have seen this being like a featured comic on Webtoons. Fiendish one. I think it's much better than your average Webtoon art, but that style, that American manga style, where it's half kind of painterly, the faces have a certain look to them. Well, Rini style. She's like taking it to the next level on this one. I think she's gotten real good.
But she's female. She's an incredible artist. She has a really, bubbly and out there personality that people seem to enjoy her company. I think she's going to smash it, dude. I think, yeah.
I'll tell you one reason why she will like get huge numbers is she has a lot of fans.
Simps.
Well, hey, I didn't use that word. She has a lot of fans who are willing to spend a lot of money.
Huge money.
Like,
I know,
she'll be able to put up $1,000 art pages and
Gone.
if she wants to, and they'll just disappear, or even more than that. So
Six
yeah,
figures
she'll
day
do very
one.
well.
Damn.
I don't want to say that.
I don't want
never
to
want to
say that
say that
either.
because then if she doesn't make it, if she makes 50,000 in day one or 40, it'll seem like a failure, but it's not. That's massive.
Huge.
Like we've been singing the praises of Reaper Destroyer for months now. And I think that just made 50,000 now after all this time. So it's like
different boat though, Bancroft.
I know it's
like
different.
She's
I
on
know it's
CG
different.
Kings. I mean, it's
Yeah, but
going to be an
there's a
interesting
lot of
one.
guys on CG Kings who don't make 100,000 in the day one. You know,
She's
so
charming.
like, I just don't like the kibosh. I just
No,
don't.
I don't
get
either.
the
I don't
kibosh
either.
from anyone.
Cracker says maybe
especially
50K day
when
one.
especially when you look at what's going on here. You got Wraith of God, Loose Threads, Fiendish 2, and Cordwrath and Narwhal all launching within the week. And and there's stuff to come too. Big stuff. Afterwards. So
I haven't backed a book for a minute because like I said, man, I've been putting like all my funds into Replicator 4. If I had to back like 2 or 3 of those books, do you have a choice? Like what are you backing out of those? I mean, throw you right
out of all these,
yeah. Like if you only back 2 or 3
I'm gonna wait.
of them.
Okay. I usually always back Graveyard Shift, but I don't know what this is. I'm guessing it's Tommy Robertson. Patterson. Who's Tommy Robertson? Oh, that's that British guy. No, not Tommy Robinson. No, Tommy Patterson. So yeah, that should be real cool. And I made the mistake of not backing the first Graveyard Shift back in the day. And I sort of said, I don't want to make that mistake ever again.
Mo just savaged Bancroft.
No.
Mo, do you want to read it or do you want me to read it? Mo says, there are a lot of guys on CG Kings who don't make 100,000. Damn, Bancroft is straight up calling out Andy Smith. God damn, Bancroft. How did you do that to your boy?
I never would. I'm a fan of Andy. I had a great time on his show, and I look forward to helping him promote Cordwrath on. I think it's the 15th. I'm having him on, but no, there's not just Andy Mo. There's others. It's not just like getting on Ethan's. You're gonna have 100,000. That's not how it works. Everyone knows that. So Graveyard Shift and yeah, probably Fiendish. Because I missed out on the first one. I've got, again, like with all this stuff, I gotta see what the shipping is. Yeah, I think she should have pretty decent Australian shipping because she's going through hockey, but I don't know. We'll see.
What are you guys in chat going to back out of all these?
So much stuff here.
What are you guys in chat going to back out of all of these? I don't know what I'm backing yet. I would probably. What's the Cryptidnals, man? Is that just a Kickstarter launch?
It's the Kickstarter version, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I've already got that. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in, let's just say this. These are the ones that interest me the most. Whether I back them more or less is different. Frog G, that interests me. Fiendish 2 interests me. I'll back Malin because I always back Malin. He's a dude. He's a legend to me. He's a good guy too. They'll be my 3 that really stick out for me, I'd say.
Unlikely I'm going to be backing 3 books this month. But
Narwhal,
eventually,
Graveyard Shift, Cordwrath. Sumo's back in all 9 of them. Legend, dude. You guys make it so good for us. You have no idea. Geronimo says, I like the Cordwrath idea. Don't like the art. Professor Herbert is not doing well in its first week. What is that?
Wow, there's a lot of issues with Professor Herbert.
Jarro, Wraith 2, Ghost of M, Fiendish, Graveyard Shift. Yeah, man. So
first off the bat, I don't think anyone knows about it. I don't think anyone knows who this is. it's got a flexible goal of $5,000. Right, flexible means they get the money no matter what, and the entry level is $15, and the highest tier is 35.
Hey, there's art there now. There wasn't art before, was there?
I can't remember. Let me
I don't think
see.
there
Even if
was.
every single person got the highest tier 35, the mega package, he needs 140 people. I know there's plus shipping, so maybe let's say he needs 100 backers to get this thing funded, which is it's a tall order on a book that people just don't know. People don't know about it. I mean, it just kind of came out of nowhere. They don't know the guy. It looks cool. And it's got this sort of what's that guy called? Dexter. You know that cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got that sort of feel to it. I mean, if you're into that, and that's the thing, a lot of people aren't going to be into this. It's like, I think it's cool. I think it will print amazingly with these colors, but I probably wouldn't back it because I'm not into this sort of story. So yeah, limited demographic. Yeah, it's going to be a real struggle, but I hope he doesn't get discouraged from this.
Yeah, we can look at
like
Comic Mark's campaign.
Comes back and sort of realizes that it's not just enough to kind of put a book out there. You really have to plant the seeds before you try and harvest the garden.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that when we looked at this, there was no images on the actual campaign page. They were just up the top there. So I think he has added those in. So, I mean, that's a good step. I mean, we've talked about this before, Bancroft. There's no shame in failing a campaign and doing it again. So, if it doesn't fund, which it's going to take a lot of work to get
the
there.
days of just like, I'm here, high CG, and your book getting funded so far in the rearview mirror. It's like there's I don't know, they're probably getting close to now 500 campaigns in all of Comicsgate going back to 2018. That's just not sustainable. Not everyone can be Sumo or Nolan Lockhart or Rick Saylor. Like, people have to really be picky. And yeah, they're gonna pick creators that they're familiar with and they've seen out here, on the grind and that sort of stuff.
One thing that creators don't seem to have a real grasp on is the fact that, I'll get this in a second, book, is the fact that people in the world have different amounts of money and they can spend different amounts of money on things that they want. So I struggled with this at first when I first started doing Kickstarter. I'm like, there's no one's going to spend $1,000 on a Kickstarter. It seems ridiculous, but people have that money. You got to give them the option if they want it. If they don't want it, they don't have to buy it. But if they don't have the option, they can't. So, got to cater for those people too. Paul Cunt for 5. Andy's work in the early 90s on cosmic titles absolutely killed it. If he does a space opera, he will break the 6-figure ceiling. Interesting.
There you go. I'm not super familiar, but there you go.
John says, is this a CG person? I've never heard of them, Bancroft, but they're on CG now. So
yeah, me either. There you go. I mean, they just asked, can I get added? I was like, yeah. I mean, if someone asked to go on the CG Now calendar, it's no skin off my nose if they want to, be on there. I hope they know what it means. I hope they're not getting like their colors is like, I'm never working with you again. You're associated with Comicsgate. Like, maybe they just thought, oh, this is just a promotional calendar thing. I got no idea. No idea. I've never seen them around. I've never heard anywhere in the book. Nothing.
Mo says, I just went and read the preview pages. Are they good, Mo? Crackhead says, I wish I could back everything, but I got to pick and choose. Unfortunately, creators I back are the ones I see putting in the work every day, not just when they have a campaign live. That's a really good point, Bancroft. And we've probably talked about it before, but I'm less inclined to back someone who just shows up around launch time. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and I think that's human. I think that's human nature. It's like we have a deeper connection to the people that we hang out with all the time and know really well. I mean, that's normal.
We just looked at Professor Herbert. Dean says, I'm simply too bored to back all the books I actually want. Yeah, I mean, we've all been there, dude. We've all been there. Let's have a look at Aquila, see what he's changed quickly, and then Darkside wants to have a look at Krishna Kid. We'll do that too. Richard says, due to shipping, I need to back second campaigns to get like the second volume, so you get 2 in 1. Is that what you're saying? Scrolling down. Oh, that's much better. That's readable now, at least.
Yeah, much better.
Much better. My eyes aren't burning. Fantastic.
You got to remember, it's hard enough for Rob to read as is.
Yeah.
Like, just at a fundamental level, he finds it difficult.
That's right. You think I'm going to disagree? I'm not. It's exactly how it is. No, this is looking good, man. Did you change anything else?
I think that's all he pretty much can change. We were talking about the things on the perks and stuff. You can't change them at this point unless you take the perks down and put up new ones. So,
yeah, D says, so I don't mean to be savage. It's just the way.
No, he was saying I'm savage to you.
Oh, right. Okay, that's cool.
But, you know.
One thing I would put, man, and you may think it's a bit redundant. You've got the page count here. I'd probably put it in here somewhere too, because like I hardly ever read this part, which is silly. I just don't, and I go looking for how many pages it is around here. So I don't know if you disagree or agree or care, Bancroft, but that's just something that I would say.
I always care, Rob.
Colin Mark, he's got 105 backers. That's not bad. Let's have a look through this. I mean, he's not here, so I can't really ask him if he wants feedback on his campaign. The one thing I would say after saying that is, for me, there's too many gifts. I think like 1 or 2 is great, but when you have this many, it takes away from the impact and importance of the actual gifts. And I don't know how it's affecting like how the screen loads, like the page loads itself.
Putting aside whether or not you like gifts and you think they help to sell the book, this is a lot of scrolling before we get to any interior art. Like, so we were talking about real estate. This isn't. I don't think this is interior art. This is all promo stuff.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gifts. 9, 10.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gifts and other stuff as well. So we don't. Yeah, here. So now we finally get down to interior art.
The art looks good,
at the very bottom of the page. And there's not much. I think campaigns suffer from not having enough interior art on the page.
Geronimo says $50 shipping to Japan. That's really limiting my purchases when everything is getting very expensive. Yeah, the shipping's killing everyone at the moment.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything they can do about that either. I don't know what sort of deals they get out of the UK. Like at least here in Australia, we get a pretty good deal, so we can get down to like $15. But it's not 10, but it's not 50. It's not 35. Yeah, there's I think when he was on the show, he said he did the gifts because he wanted to sort of just give a more impactful page, like campaign page. I don't think there's any specific relevant sort of connection to the story that and the gifts. It's just that's what he wanted to do. Like he said, it's like like in Harry Potter where the pictures move. That's all he said. So you can love them or hate them or whatever, but I think the issue with the campaign pages I see it is, I want to see what the book looks like primarily.
These
that's when I jump onto a campaign page. That's
he's got a good comment. It says it's like game trailers. You want to see a game. You want to see gameplay, not just some cutscenes. Yeah.
I guess that's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah, I mean, I like GIFs. I think like you could use them effectively. I just think this
Rini is using them very effectively as headings, and they're very subtle. It's just like it's a heading image, and then it's like a sort of there'll be like a dust floating up, and maybe it'll glow in and out. It's very subtle, and it's only on the headings as far as I'm aware. David Feed doesn't like them. I've heard a lot of people saying they're not really into them. But
D says you can get animated WebP now as well. Much better format. I
didn't know you could do that. WebP is the new fancy 2.0 image format. It's smaller, it holds quality. Photoshop hates it, but yeah, that's what it is what it is. Darkside says, what acceptable amount of art showing on a campaign, Michael? 5 or 6? I think sort of 5 pages minimum probably is what I want to see, and I want to see it like right there under the cover. I want to just like show me the cover, show me the interiors. That's like everything else is kind of superfluous. You'd be fine just showing the cover and showing the interiors, and even if you have stretch goals and other things and that, you'd be fine. You get away with it. But
I still think that like if people are looking to make a campaign page, I'd still use yours as the default standard of what to go for.
And I stole that look off Carlo Rowe, which is
we mustn't
more
speak his name anymore. Voldemort is here.
Carl O'Ware. Well, he had good ideas on campaign layout at the very least.
Richard says we need to make a CG buyers club where we have a designated buyer who the campaigns will ship to and then distribute.
Well, we kind of have setting that up, at least here in Australia. But yeah, they need. I've said this, and we need that in the States, in Canada, in UK, Germany, and I think they're sort of the biggest ones. This image here as well, and again, I hate to be critical when Mark hasn't asked for it, so I apologize, Mark, if I'm speaking out of line here, but this image here doesn't do it for me. You've got really good images on this, like the ones that I was sharing. I can't remember what they are. There's a blue one. No, I'm thinking more like, where's the blue one with
this is sick
kid sort of floating? Yeah, you've got that.
That's cool.
Matt Barr's doing a lot on this. Like these are like, there's one with the Krishna kid, and he's like fighting. Not that one. That one. Like I would have that. Yeah, I would have that as the very first image up the top.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't even be a decision. So I think, I don't know where you why you put that. And it's hard to understand what it is. It's the Duridana Purana. thing. It's like, but this
Oh,
is
yeah,
Krishna
mate.
Kid, you know?
Get
So what's the
my brain's on-
Duradana Purana and then Krishna Kid, Eye of Brahma? It's like there's a disconnect there.
Yeah, my brain's not going to even try and read what that says. It's like, nah, not happening, man. Crackhead says, the problem with his trailer is it's not for his main book. It's for the supplemental. He needs a Krishna Kid trailer.
John's asking Carlo Rowe. Who's that?
Yeah. Starlight Cats had the best campaign page, says Jasper. I have to check. I haven't checked that out in a long time, man. Let's have a look at that another time. Maromi's in here. No doubt Maromi is looking forward to Fiendish 2, Bancroft.
Maromi is a Reenie fan.
He loves the
Reenie
Reenie.
fan.
Huge Reenie fan. Carlo Rowe, he had a book called Death Sworn that looked really good. It seems like he went back and redrew a lot of it, and now it's not going to happen. That's pretty much where it's at.
Yeah, we've sort of written that one off.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately
gone into the not going to happen pile, I think.
Yep. Yeah, we haven't heard from Carl in a year and a half. He just sort of fell off the face of the earth in terms of social media. Not encouraging.
No, not at all. Anything else you want to bring up, dude? You're closing in on 1,000 signups, which is ridiculous. Absolutely amazing. I do think, before you get on that, I do think Shane had the best hook line that's happened in CG with like little girl, big adventure, cats in space. I think that was pretty genius. Look at that. That's sexy. Look at that thing. You want to swap? I'll swap you.
I don't think it works like that.
God damn. All right.
I haven't updated this in a while. I've been doing other things. But come in and look at it every now and then. How many have I got here? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I've already got 5. I'll probably add in another 1 or 2. Sort of.
What is this liquid, Bancroft? It's like,
it's not terribly difficult to figure out. It's gloopy. It's bloody. It's viscous. It's people voluntarily choose to bathe in it.
I so want to say this, but it will be so disgusting that I'm not going to. Rob, it's a suit made of ghosts. It's wine.
It's not wine. No, I wouldn't recommend drinking it. I wouldn't recommend drinking it anyway because people are like bathing in it.
Should I write it in private chat and see what Bancroft reacts? How he reacts? I'm going to do it. See what he says.
John asks, "Where's the hole in the ceiling you were talking about?" I drew it. I don't know if I want to include it on this page. I don't know. I don't mind having an inconsistency there because it is kind of really hidden behind this. But when I make a print of this, I'll include it in there. But it kind of, the way it crops off at the top, it looked weird. Like you need to see the hole to understand what it is. So yeah, I'll probably leave the page as it is, even though it's not technically correct. But as you probably are guessing from my interactions with critics out there, I don't really care if things aren't like super technically correct. Oh my God, Rob! No, no.
I'm feral.
It's not. Yeah, that's just. Oh, that's disgusting, Rob.
I used to have a friend that like you could say disgusting stuff to, and he'd start dry reaching. Oh, so much fun. He's it's great. It was fantastic. Mo says you need to see the hole to understand what it is. This sounds like Bancroft trying to class up the feral bush pig story. Oh my god!
No. Well, look here. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Because I drew the hole, so it must be around here somewhere. But I haven't colored it in yet. So, well, Pork, you
Pork
guessed
has
it.
it.
That's what he said. Yeah.
What?
You know Rob so well. You know.
Oh, Travis T goes one step too far. One step. Just one step too far.
Oh no, it's not I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's pleasant, but it's not disgusting. You're not going to be dry reaching when you. I mean, I don't
love
think
this
you're going to be
page.
surprised either.
I love this page, man. The color palette you got here.
Yeah,
Is
I'm really happy with
exquisite.
this. Really happy with how it came out. And there's the sticker that's going to be on the bookmarks versus sticker campaign up there.
He does look like he's wearing a wingsuit, though. To be fair,
He's jumping.
Mm.
It's just I've sort of set that up as that's how I show jumping throughout the book. So I've kind of got that going and other things. Like he's got like a whoosh sort of effect. So there's precedent there. All right, let me. Actually, it kind of works with the flats.
I thought it was raspberry jam, which is almost worse. I think
it's probably close to consistency wise, viscousness to raspberry jam.
You're gonna have to tell me what this is after the stream. I do my head in otherwise.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, a lot of people have sort of guessed what it is, what the whole situation is, and they're correct. I haven't said they're correct, but they guessed in the chat, and I was like, yeah. I mean, let me.
Sumo says dry reaching is the worst kind of reach around. I'll give you that.
Don't want that. So there you go. That hole hole's directly above the thing, the pit, and it goes up real high, right? And then there's that stuff that's in there. I mean, I don't know. I guess people might be able to figure out what happens here and what it's all about. It's not poo based. There's nothing disgusting happening in this.
Devilfish says worst kind of reach around is if Rob's behind you, dude. I'll make you feel okay.
No, I would not feel. I would feel very uncomfortable. I feel very uncomfortable.
I almost like this version better without the extra panels in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I sort of wanted to knock out two birds with one stone. You know, I wanted to have the page, but I also wanted to, kind of, it wouldn't really tell a very good story from the last page to this. It'd be like, oh, like, all right, we're here now. I think it does need a transition, and I like the layout of the page that I've got. But having said that, I also like this as a standalone piece. I'll probably do the same thing with the infamous wave thing, where I've got it in the book, but it's got panels over it. But then, depending on how it ends up, I might do a print or something else, puzzle. I don't know what, something with it. So, yeah. I think it's cool. I like how it came out. But I'll have to copy the colors in from the real one, put it in this, and then somehow color the hole appropriately.
We've hit the 2-hour mark, Mike. We've got like 40 people in here, which is great. Please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much to D, Sumo, Pork Hunt, everyone who donated memberships and super chats tonight. It was amazing. Bancroft, what else you got? You got anything else? Wrap it up with?
No. Join us for Aquila Saturday 9 p.m. on my channel.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Aardvark too, man. Like, it's hard sometimes getting criticism or feedback, and to go out and make the changes straight away and not be a dick about it is is very good. So consider backing it if you haven't, and you'll see him on Bancroft. It'll be good. All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap it there, guys.
Close to finishing up. So maybe he'll either be at the $6,000 mark, or maybe we can get him to 6,000. I don't know.
And sign up to Camel's Boots and Heels. He's trying to get to 400. He's getting closer. So give that a sign up for Replicator 4. Sign up for Lucent. All links are down below. And have a good one, guys. We'll see you very, very soon. See you later. Bye. I should probably play an outro, huh?
Probably.